we thank you so much for joining us right here on this Wednesday for WHAS 11 News at Noon. I'm Shay McAllister. National protests continue today in response to the mass incarceration of migrants in Los Angeles. Local leaders are implementing curfews in part of the city. This while Trump deploys more than 4,000 National Guard troops and 700 Marines to Los Angeles, where we know there have been ongoing protests. Now there are more active troops there than in Iraq or Syria. While their role in dispersing crowds has been minimal, Trump has warned that the use of the military could be seen in other cities.
This is the first, perhaps, of many, or perhaps, if we didn't attack this one very strongly, you'd have them all over the country.
Protests against ICE and migrant arrests are spreading to other cities from coast to coast. Overnight, Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he will deploy National Guard troops ahead of protests this week, in his words, to ensure peace and order. And President Donald Trump has planned a large-scale military parade in the nation's capital this weekend. He says that protesters have already made it known they will mobilize against what they are calling No King's Day. Right now, tanks and armored vehicles line some D.C. streets, ready to roll for the parade, which is meant to commemorate the Army's 250th birthday, while also coinciding with President Trump's 79th birthday. Trump is warning that protesters will be met with big force if they come out against the parade. More than 1,500 protests are set to begin nationwide on Saturday, and that does include right here in Louisville. With that in mind, a Louisville Metro Council member is calling out the mayor and LMPD's response to Monday night's immigration protests in downtown Louisville. The Republican council member Crystal Bass posted on Facebook yesterday saying the demonstrations moved well beyond a peaceful protest, blocking traffic and breaking traffic laws. She went on to say, quote, "I, along with other council members, have urged the mayor to enforce our laws regarding these types of events. If there is a lack of interest in enforcing Metro's laws and policies, we must immediately reassess their necessity." Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg responded yesterday saying he felt there was no need to escalate the situation.
Here in Louisville, we are prepared. We hope that everyone continues all of the announcement we've heard about other protests that are coming about these matters, have stressed their focus on peaceful protests and non-violence. There are places where that can occur, and I appreciate the organizers focusing on that, on expressing their First Amendment rights and with their words and going no further than that.
LMPD also said the march didn't cause any problems and remained peaceful. Today, LMPD Deputy Chief Emily McKinley insisted public safety and supporting the First Amendment right remain the department's top priority.
We're focused on public safety. So, we live in a country where one of the great American tenets is our freedom. We have our freedom of speech, and I'm so proud that we live in a country that allows us that opportunity and allows us that right to express our free speech and to protest and to assemble. And so we want to support that.
What is happening with these protests and local response to the demonstrations is on our website, WHAS11.com. You can also stay up to date on the WHAS 11 app. Now to more news right here at noon. The search begins now for a key figure in Louisville's police reform effort. City officials will soon start interviewing candidates for an independent monitor who will be tasked with overseeing the city and LMPD's progress under Louisville's former consent decree, which was canceled by the Trump administration. The city is inviting the public to listening sessions to share feedback on the qualifications for the position. The first session is June 17th at the YMCA on Broadway from 6 to 7:30. The second will be Saturday, June 28th. At the Newburgh Community Center from 10 to 11:30. You can find more information if you'd like to attend on WHAS11.com. Checking in now with meteorologist Matt Breland. Matt, a little bit sticky out there, but then I guess that means we're getting into summer.
We're getting closer and closer to that first day of summer, Shay. That's right. Our skies are staying sunny, but also a bit hazy this afternoon. Here's a look across downtown Louisville at the skyline. Temperatures right at 80 degrees. We're going to be a little bit warmer this afternoon than we were yesterday. Highs are expected to reach the mid-80s. Humidity staying relatively low. Temperatures are in the upper 70s for the rest of us across Jefferson County. You'll notice that we're at 78 near Bowman Field, 79 Fern Creek, 78 for you guys near Iroquois Park. Over in southern Indiana, we're at 77 near Seymour, 75 Paoli, 74 for you folks closer towards Elizabethtown. Satellite and radar continuing to stay quiet and dry. We're going to remain in this trend as we go throughout the rest of our Wednesday afternoon. And this area of high pressure continues to bring in a steady amount of sunshine that will be lasting for the remainder of our Wednesday. But changes are headed our direction as we go into tomorrow. So the rest of Wednesday stays sunny and dry, temperatures reaching those mid-80s. Some partly cloudy skies arriving overnight, and that will lead to some more clouds that are expected to develop as we head into our Thursday morning and Thursday afternoon. So temperatures today, fairly average, right into the mid-80s. We're going to stay sunny, but also under a bit of that hazy trend. I'll let you know whenever that haze will make its way out of our skies, along with our weekend rain chances coming up here in just a few short minutes. Shay?
All right, Matt, thank you very much. Well, just over the last week, 2 different men have been arrested for driving under the influence. One was in Hardin County, one was in Jefferson County. Notably, neither of them blew over the legal limit. So why were they arrested? WHAS11's Alexandra Goldberg helps explain the law.
This intersection is where it all went down for former U of L basketball star Russ Smith early Sunday morning. Baxter Avenue and Highlands Avenue. Pulled over by Metro Police, Smith was driving his Maserati in the Highlands. Police say he made an illegal U-turn and was driving with expired plates. They say Smith also blew a .073 in the breathalyzer. That's below the legal limit of .08. For the first time, he's sharing his side of the story since he was arrested for DUI. Smith posting a tweet with a statement from his attorney, Steve Romines, claiming he did nothing wrong. It says in part, quote, despite the fact that his BAC was below the legal limit and he passed every test, he was nonetheless arrested. Indeed, why even have investigative tests when an officer is allowed to simply ignore them all? Former Judge Dave Holton says the blood alcohol content is only one piece of the puzzle.
When my wife heard the news over the weekend, she says, how can that be? And my answer to her was, well, there's circumstances surrounding the arrest and other things that the numbers just don't illustrate.
The questions come as another man was arrested for DUI, also blowing under the legal limit. On June 4th, Kentucky State Police arrested off-duty LMPD officer Kenneth Lawrence in Hardin County. He was pulled over for expired plates, but with an odor of alcohol detected by police. Lawrence later blew a .077 into a breathalyzer and was taken to the Hardin County Detention Center. In Louisville, Alexandra Goldberg, WHAS 11, on your side.
Russ Smith is scheduled to be arraigned on June 16th. He will be represented by the same lawyer who represented Scotty Scheffler when he was arrested at the PGA Championship right outside of Valhalla. More news to get to here. Kentucky State Representative Daniel Grossberg from Louisville is refusing to settle a nearly year-long ethics investigation. This investigation is centered around his alleged inappropriate behavior toward women, according to Grossberg's attorney. The ethics report shows that the settlement would include a public reprimand and a $4,000 fine. The Ethics Committee investigation found Grossberg did engage with at least 2 women inappropriately and drink alcohol in his Capitol office. Grossberg maintains his interactions with these women have been taken out of context. There is now a preliminary hearing in Frankfort on June 17th.